Hello and welcome. My name is Morgan Ritchie Baum, and I am the Business and Nonprofit Librarian with Greensboro Public Library. As part of the library celebration of Black History Month, we wanted to take this opportunity to highlight Black-owned businesses in our area. And today I am very excited to be joined by the wonderful Chisa Pennix-Brown, owner of, among other things, Lady Bizness. Chisa, welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I mean, this is a great opportunity to be able to just let people know about my Black owned business. And hopefully, through our chat, we'll be able to help somebody else's Black owned business.
Absolutely. So why don't we just start off, Chisa, tell us all about your business or businesses.
Okay. So my original company is Lady Business, which is a marketing and branding company, helps people show up and show out online. And I have now transitioned that into a couple of things. One specifically being a virtual educator now, full time, because coronavirus came and shook the world up. And I would like to stay safe. So, in order to protect my business, now all of the classes that I'm doing are online. And so I teach for a number of different colleges throughout the state and with the Small Business Center Network. And then I do teach classes independently on my own. And then I'm also, something that I'm super proud of is I have a podcast that is doing really, really well. And I like to make sure that the way that the podcast is expressed is being your own life coach. So it kind of helps you to do that. And the name of it, even though I hope that the library doesn't have a problem with a little teensy weensy bit of profanity, but the name of the podcast is called Real Ass Affirmations. And so helping you to just really kind of get through the things in your day that you want to say, but maybe you don't have anybody to talk to. And so what I'm transitioning into is a little bit of helping people with their mental health, but also with their business. And you and I had actually discussed that in 2019 at the end of the year. And we did not know what was going to happen in 2020. So now that we're in 2021, it's like, I feel like you and I had the foresight for what was going to happen in business, and we didn't even know it. But business, depression, self care, being able to maintain all those things, spouses, kids, things being at home, this new virtual life and this dynamic that we're in now, I think that my business is uniquely suited to be able to help people to start and grow and maintain their businesses.
Absolutely, Chisa. Yeah, I didn't even remember that, but we did. We talked all about, we did some research on that, and I think
Yes.
there'll probably be more research coming out now about that
It's
too.
going to be so much more now, but it's like, wow, who knew that, what we were thinking about in 2019 was just going to be something that then became a reality
Yes.
of people, because people have difficulties in business in general. But then when you put in something where a lot of people had to stop work, a lot of people had to figure out what to do next. I think that for me, it just pushed me forward. It pushed me faster than I anticipated on going for the year 2020. And now in 2021, we're just speeding. It's just like, we're in the fast lane, and maybe we're like on the Autobahn of business right now. And we're just like, we can just go as fast as we want, but just we need to just maintain what we have and then just keep growing that business.
I love it. So we've talked a little bit about the future, but I want to take it back to the past for a second. What inspired you at the very beginning to start doing this?
I never really wanted to work for anybody else. I just never really saw myself as the corporate type. I never saw myself as the person that would retire from a place. And even if, let's just say, if the business turned into being a multi-million dollar company, I'm not the kind of person who ever wants to like sell the company. You know what I mean? I think this is something that I always wanted to do, was to be able to take charge of how much I make, when I work, and then who I'm able to work with and how I can help people. And so starting a business was just a logical progression, from going from college. I went to Elon University and then graduating and then doing jobs in between there, but just knew, yeah, there's something that I can do to help other people. And so that's what ended up, starting Lady Business.
That's awesome. So we're talking a lot about the Black family this Black History Month, and I wanted to ask you how you see your business impacting your family.
Wow. So there's been a lot of changes that have happened in my business in the last year, but specifically, I'm going to say even in the last 3 to 4 years. And so, one of the things that I would say that has been different is being able to transition to where my husband is able to work with me full time. And so that is something, and I know you know Morgan, but something that I've wanted forever. And it's actually, in the process of being, that specific thing. So I think that it is, and this is with every family, but specifically with the Black family. I think that people have to find what they're good at sometimes. Sometimes people know what they're good at and then they can just go ahead. But I think that people have inert gifts that are inherent to them. And so, you have to figure out what that gift is going to be for each individual person and see which role they're going to play. There are certain things that my husband is excellent at that I'm very mediocre at. And it's probably because I just don't want to do it. But he is very detail oriented and focused, and he will not stop doing something until it's done. Me, I'm a little bit ADD where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to start something and I'm come back to that. So for us, I think that our family dynamic is in the strength of that yin and yang, of one person being good at something, the other person being good at something else, and then us being able to combine that in order to have a business that's more successful.
That's awesome. So, how has owning a business impacted how you think about your legacy and your family's legacy?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think that, and I tell people all the time, even when they're naming their business, like if this was on your epitaph, if people came to the graveyard and they saw your name, I don't, beloved wife, mother, whatever, I would want them to put the name of my company up there because I would want it to be something that to me would be able to live on. And I can't say with all 100% accuracy that if I'm gone, that it's just going to keep going. I can't say that, with any type of certainty, because I think somebody has to be there to want to keep that legacy going. But I do think the energy of my business is something that will definitely be able to affect other people's business. So even if, let's just say hypothetically, the lady business name doesn't like go on into the halls of whatever, Valhalla. Okay. If you got to be a certain type of person to understand that. I knew she would love it though. The librarian in her loves that reference, right? Right. If it's not in the halls of Valhalla, then I just take into consideration that I feel like what I've been able to do to help other people, that's where the legacy is at. So if it doesn't go past me, if my expiration date comes, I know that there are so many people that I've been able to touch, and I've been able to see them start their businesses, been able to see the growth, been able to see them sell businesses, change businesses, get new businesses, buy some. All of those things have been able to be a part of me, which means that extension just goes on based on what I do now. So I'm always focused on what I can do today and then still looking toward the future, but can that help somebody else?
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome, Chisa. So, what has been, looking back, what's been some of the most impactful or important business advice you've ever received?
Oh, okay. Some of the most impactful has probably been really to just keep on innovating. Like there's always something new to learn. So if there's an opportunity for you to learn something else, keep on innovating, because that one idea that you have, and I'm not even saying that it's a networking thing or, just taking courses, but if there's something else that you can learn or somebody that you can learn from, take the opportunity to be able to do that, because that next thing is going to spark more creativity. So for me, I look at, I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And so if I can continue to add to that arsenal of the things that I know, all I'm going to do is get better. And I recognize, and it took a little while in business for me to recognize that you don't have to do everything all at one time. So you may have wonderful ideas. They could actually be, some of the best ideas ever. But if it's not feasible for you to do it now, for me, I look at capability and I also look at capacity. It might not be for you to do it right now. And so, you know how you can have the right idea, but the wrong time. So I just think of things of you being able to save that, keep innovating, and making sure that when the time is right for you to then launch that thing. So for me, I look at advice. To me, the best thing is to plan. So if I'm already prepared, I don't have to get ready. Be ready for that abundance that's going to come in business. And that's been the thing that has saved me the most. Like, so if I could impart wisdom to somebody else, it is be ready for the things that you say that you really want. Because then when somebody calls you and is like, can you do this? And you're like, well, but no, you have to be ready to do the things. And sometimes even if you're not ready, just tell them you're ready and then make it up. I mean, if you have a deadline, if you have time, wiggle room in between there, yes, I can do that, right? And then just get to work. So I think of preparation, but staying innovative and not just willing to be stagnant and continually learning have been the things that I think, just keep me in a position of being successful, and hopefully other people will do the same.
That's awesome. So wrapping up, Chisa, you dropped so much knowledge on us, and you have so much great knowledge, more great knowledge to share. So where can we find out more about you and your business?
For sure. Definitely go to my website, ladybusiness.com, which is LADYBIZNESS.com. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Chisa Pennix-Brown, which is CHISAPENNIXBROWN. So that's where I'm at most of the time, but I'm on Facebook, I'm on Pinterest, LinkedIn. I mean, on everything, but I spend most of the time, if I'm doing social media, on Instagram. And you can always find out about events and all of the different happenings right there on my website.
Awesome. Chisa, thank you so much for sharing your
Thank
story, for sharing this
you.
great information. We really appreciate it.
Yes, I appreciate you. And if you have a business or you're thinking about starting a business, guess what? It's plenty of opportunity for you to do that. So you have two great people right here that could be a great resource to help you do that. And I think, if I could leave one last little thing, it would be,
Absolutely.
use those resources. Like, there are so many around, use them to your benefit. And if we can't help you, we can always refer you to somebody else that can help you. So between the two of us, I mean, we can do a whole lot of magic.
We can take
we can
over
we
the
can make
world.
some magic things happen, right? So definitely use those resources that are out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chisa.